Final practice session of the season, done and dusted. Qualifying is going to be dry. Not a surprise given where we are in the world. Qualifying trim, super overtake. Qualifying trim and soft tyres. We didn't get to max out the qualifying trim, as you can see. It's a rather long lap and therefore the bonus increase was relatively slow. But we'll see what that does. I don't think it'll make a massive difference. We'll probably get 9th and 10th. Or 9th and 11th even. Yeah, very good. Well done, Sirikov. Wow. Wow, what a massive difference between the two cars on that qualifying session. Cruz absolutely pulling it out of the bag, getting 6th place ahead of a Panther and both Katanos for an outstanding performance. Only 0.8 of a second slower than the Steinman of Becker over a lap that is 1 minute 40. That is some good going, that is some good pace. And then down here, what's that? 0.6 of a second slower than his teammate Sirikov in 13th. What a disparity. What the hell is going on there? Super overtake can't be worth that much. Telling you, this is making me think we should be installing number 1 and number 2 next season. When we negotiate Sirikov's contract next season, we should probably be telling him, Sirikov, your number 2 driver, pal. You've been so disappointing this season, we're going to punish you and make you number 2 driver. Soft tyres and race trim. Going to be the order of the day today. It's easy enough for us to do in 3 soft tyre stints. Track temperatures are hot, so you can push these tyres to some degree. They're not super soft or ultras, so it's just going to be 5, 5 and 5 for Cruz, I think. 5, 5 and 5. No problems there. We can probably actually afford to do 5, 5 and 5 with Sirikov, just simply because he's so far down. He's going to end up being so many seconds behind his teammate. Flipping phone. He's going to be so many seconds behind his teammate that we can stack him. So I'm just going to go 5, 5 and 5 for both. Soft tyres. Have them pushed as hard as they can from the start and see what happens. Here we go, final race of the season, and Steinman put it on pole. Becker first. Balcazar still with black eye and broken, well not broken, but injured neck anyway. Whiplash perhaps. Dodgy neck. She's in second. Parsani third with Fisher in fourth. And then you got Harry Chapman in fifth with good old Alessandro Cruz giving the Phoenix Knights fans some hope for next season as the team continue to demonstrate their progress. 6th position. It's 7th and 8th for Kitano, with Sylvander disappointing in 9th. And Rizzato Corsa de Oster in 10th, with a Sirikov cutting a low figure in 13th, looking disconsolate on the pre-race grid walk. I may bring Sirikov in a lap early, just because if we bring him in on lap 4 and then do 4, 5, 6 maybe, just get him into some clear track, and as he can push for longer. I think we're just going to keep him absolutely hammering his car for as long as possible and bring him in on lap 4. That's what I'm planning with him. Anyway, here we go. The lights are off, and it's another slow start for Cruz. It looks like Sirikov got off to a good one. Now, let's see what happens. And look at that! We have a Panther off the power. Harry Chapman has gone off the track. He's at the back of the grid. Bad start for him. But Alessandro Cruz has lost 2 places from his starting position after such a good qualifying. That will be megally disappointing, although he's back up into 7th for only a very brief moment as the excuse me, as the Catano of De Wolf, or is it De Graaf? The drivers are too closely named together, aren't they? De Wolf and De Graaf, it's confusing. And that's good old Clark Smith in the Thornton having a stormer. Right, we're going to turn these down. Turn these down. Tyre temperatures are going to go through the roof at some point, so we'll just turn them down. A lot of people on mediums here. So the first lap is done, and we are in 9th position with Sandro Cruz. Disappointing considering where he started on the grid. He won't be happy with his first lap, but it's a long race. Just knuckle down and get yourself sorted. Get into a rhythm, get into a momentum, and when we give you the push order towards the back end of your stint, you'll be good to, like Rio de Janeiro, hopefully you'll put your foot down and make a place or two up. But Clark Smith in the Thornton, so he's showing some real good pace here. Showing some real good pace. Look at Surikov, he's in 17th and struggling right now. Got De Wolf in 4th, De Graaf in 7th. Fischer once again is struggling, he's in 6th. Catano Fischer not having a good time the past couple of races. Is he going to be sacked at the end of the season? Is his contract contract running down? Has he just lost all motivation? Oh, look at this, passed by a Thornton. Talk about embarrassing. What the hell is going on? Not happy times. Surikov is in 13th. We're going to give him push, 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 push like the wind instruction. How is this happening? Get out of my way, seriously. How is this happening? Look at Surikov, he is on the charge. We have given him full power. This is his last lap now. He's coming in now. He's coming in now. Another set of softs. He's going to fuel it to the max. Look at this. Cruz is bogged down behind a Thornton, and Surikov is literally forcing his way right up onto his teammate's tail. Look at this. Look at this. I know he's been given the absolute hell's bells here, but bloody hell, he ain't hanging about, is he? So Surikov coming in now, coming in early. And finally Cruz is just about passing the Thornton on his in lap. He's coming in for a fresh set of boots. He's going to fill his fuel to the brim. 5 lap stint. A mistake on the pit stop with the tyres, but that's not a problem. Just going to give Surikov now high. He's had a stint of pushing. This is going to be a 5 lap stint, and his last stint will have to be 6, which means he'll have no excess fuel. I'm still impressed with Clark Smith. I really am. What is happening here? Wow, he is really having a great race. You can look at his form actually. Yeah, he's on a 9.8 form. He's ragging this car around like he's never ragged it before. Right, he's in the pits at the same time as us. We need to make sure that we don't screw up the pit stop here. Oh, and we do. A mistake with the refueling. 2.7 seconds. Great stuff. And again, I forgot to manage my own pit crew, which is probably why there's an issue. Never mind. Right, that means that Sirikov's probably going to pass his teammate here. Yep, he does. He's naming the pit crew member that made the mistake. Itzel, you damn buffoon. Cost me too much time here. I'm behind my teammate now, for God's sake. So the tables turn. After a dreadful pit stop, it's now Sirikov who is the lead Phoenix Knights driver and looking like he is the one that's going to pick up most of the points. Cruz has got the higher form figure. Be that what as it may. So he's pushing like the wind here. Everybody ahead of us has pitted already. So this 9th position is exactly where he is. This is his true position. I've lost my mouse cursor. There it is. Couldn't see it. Okay, so Cruz is in 12th. I think he's making some... Is he making forward moves or not? I can't quite tell. No, he's making backwards moves. Oh dear. He's going backwards. I just love it when a plan comes together. Meanwhile, Sirikov is gaining on these three here. Look at this. This is tense stuff. 6th place is up for grabs here. He's saying, give me more power. Give me more juice. There's no point in leaving any performance on the table. Give it to me. Okay, we're giving it to you, son. We're giving it to you. Calm down. We're giving it to you. Give me more power, he's saying. Give me more. I'm in the zone. I'm feeling good. This is the first time this season that I've really got the car tuned in for the race. The qualifying was horrendous, but I'm making it up in the race. Just give me the power. All right, we're giving you the power. Calm down, calm down. Forget the engine. Forget the degradation. Just let me go. Screw it, it's the last race of the season. I'm going to go down in a blaze of glory. Literally, I might go down in a blaze, but we'll see. Come on. I'm getting worried about my engine. Oh, God, 38%. Jeez. Yeah, I'm getting worried as well now, but you wanted to push, pal. We're just giving you what you want. He's up into 7th. This is going to be Sirikov's day. He's up the inside here. Is he going to make it stick? Possibly not. But he's going to try hard as he can. He's going up the inside now into turn 1. He's going to make it this time. He's up into 6th. He is on fire. Soon to be literally, as his car will no doubt give up the ghost. Right. This is his in-lap, so going to pit him, soft tyres, and he's going to have to fuel to the end, and he's going to have to turn his engine down for the last one. He's got a bit more life. We're going to give him full mashings now for his rest of this lap and then his in-lap, and see if he can make up a couple of places. Right, Sirikov coming around the last few corners now of the lap. He's in 6th position. His tyre life is fading fast. But fear not, he's in the pits now for his last stop. Fingers crossed there's no mistakes. Parsani has retired. Parsani has retired. A mistake with the rear jack. This is just an absolute horror show for the pit crew today. Absolute horror show, costing us valuable time. Absolute ridiculous. Take out a lap of fuel here. We can't push with this engine anyway, so just take out a lap of fuel and off we go. Final stop of the race coming up for Cruz. Can he get past the Thornton on the track? Of course, the Thornton passed us in the pit stop. There you go, Cruz getting past on the track. Oh, and there he is. Look, there is Parsani. He's driving around in a blaze of smoke. Hopefully we'll get out of our way. He's up into 8th place. He likes that. Right, come on, get it! It's the bloody pit stop with no mistakes, come on! There we go, now we're talking. So Cruz is in 15th, Surikov is in 11th, but that's of course, there's plenty of cars left to pit, so we don't exactly know where we are on the grid just yet. A lot of cars ahead of us to pit. Push. Push, push, push. You know what, forget it, just push. Engine mode 36, engine mode 24. His is much more danger zone. His is less danger zone, but we're going to push him towards the end. We'll see where he shakes out here. I think we're going to get a past Fiore, maybe Vera Cruz and Sharp and Flores. So what's that, 3-4 cars? I think we're in about 7th place at the moment, possibly with Surikov. Straining through his tyres, yes you are, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you get this car back round in one piece. 10 form for Cruz. You wouldn't think it, would you? You wouldn't think it, given his performance. Right, we're going to put him on high now. There we go, around the last corner here. Few people now in the pits. This is where we've got to make it count. There we go. Passing them, passing them, passing them. Pass him, don't get stuck behind him. Pass him! Surikov now with a warning light on the engine at 16%. That is dangerous. That really is dangerous. That's actually 3 laps. These are long laps as well. That could be a problem. In our middle stint, Surikov was screaming for more power, and we give him it because it's the last race of the season. But that could have been a fatal mistake for his race. He's got track position, he's looking good, but ultimately, is he going to make it round? It remains to be seen. Meanwhile, Cruz is looking pretty good here. He's trying to pass. We're going to just give him full beans to get past now as we come round to the home straight. Full engine mode to get past on the straight here. Look at that, he's trying to drive him off the track. Eat my dust, Schmidt. What the hell you think you're playing at here? It's in bumper cars. Get out of my way. Surikov still is just tootling in 6th. The other cars behind him aren't making much of an impact. Even though he's got his engine turned down, he's still looking good on the pace. Sandro Cruz is going to go for it. There's no warning lights on his car. He's going to absolutely push like there's no tomorrow here. 12% on the engine with 1 lap to go. Can he make it? Can he make it? And his teammate is giving full push. Full push. Whereas he is in limp home mode. One more lap. 12%. Sylvander is catching. Lipponen is probably... I think Sylvander's going to pass here. Still 12%. We can't afford to turn it up. We just can't. Where's Cruz? Coming like a train. Look at that. He's all over the back of Lipponen in a second. He is coming like a train. Come on, Cruz. Look at that speed difference. And he's got... Oh, he's looking. He's looking. He's looking. He's looking. We can still see Sirikov in the distance. Still just trying to hold off the Panther of Sylvander. Get out of his line! What you? Come on! Come on! Put your foot down. Make it. Oh, and I think Sirikov is going to make it in 6th position. He makes it in 6th. And Cruz, he passes on the line to get 8th, 6th and 8th. Not a bad finish. Not a bad finish. Wow. So Balcazar wins, which I think secures the championship for Scuderia Rossini and for her. So let's raise a glass to that. Well done. Well done indeed. So let's take a look at the final standings then, as the season draws to a close. Well done, Sirikov. Finally showed some guts and some determination for a change, but it's too little too late, isn't it? So yes, Balcazar wins the title, 20 points over Pascal Becker, who just manages to get ahead of Parsani at the last minute there to prevent a 1-2 with the championship for Scuderia Rossini. But Steinman have got to be very disappointed with this season. And look at that. Rick de Graaf for Kitano actually finishes ahead in the Drivers' Championship of both the Panther cars. It was his teammate that let the team down in the Constructors' Championship. If they had a very... I don't know if it's a 1-2 situation with their team, but you know, if both cars were on a similar pace, they could well surpass Panther to 4th position. Speaking of the Constructors, here is the final standings. Rossini, Scuderia Rossini, top of the shot by 27 points. Look how close it was between Panther and Kitano. Kitano were breathing down their neck towards the back end of that season. They were developing their car really well. And look at that. Only 10 points was the difference. Another couple of races, and I reckon Kitano might have surpassed Panther to be the 3rd best team. That is some progression. That is some real good progression. We finish in 5th, which is an improvement on last season. Windsor, we've got almost twice as many points as them this season, so that does definitely show progression. I think the thing is, we've progressed quite nicely, but it's Kitano also. They've progressed quite nicely, and both of us are closing the gap to Panther. So I think next season, like this season in Formula 1, where the top 3 teams are really close together in performance, I think next season, Panther, Kitano and Phoenix Knights are all going to be in with a chance of getting 3rd place in the Constructors. It's going to be a 3-horse race for that 3rd spot, and I think it's going to be an exciting one. I'm really looking forward to next season. I can just see us all being so closely matched next season. I really can. Oh, if we could just jump two positions next season and get 3rd place, that would be utterly amazing. We actually end the season with more money than I thought we would. That is to say, and look who is the champion of the European Racing Series. He closes out the championship with a victory and fastest lap. It is Valdez. He wins in Ozu Motor Team. He wins the European Racing Series title. Several years after he won it with Phoenix Knights, he's a 2-time ERS champion. But here is your World Motorsport champion. It's Balcazar. $55 million in prize money for finishing first. I think we get like 50 million for finishing 5th. So as I said a couple of sessions ago, the merit system, the payment merit system, it doesn't really reward teams that finish higher in the championship very much, which is something we want to change when we get to the point where we are finishing in the top 3. We want to get the big money. Interview. We'll go on then. It's the end of the season. I wouldn't mind trying for Flores' services. She's a 5-star driver. Yeah, look at her. Should we replace Sirikov with Flores? She'll be interested in coming to us now. It cost us a lot. It cost us a lot of money to break the contract. 6 million, 7 million in fact, and she's not a paid driver. To me, it's not even worth it. Not even worth it. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to get our drivers back on side for another season. Their contracts are running down, and as much as Sirikov has been a pain in the backside this season, I'm thinking that hopefully with a better car next season he might have some motivation to try and get some revenge on Lissandro Cruz. He needs to get his title back as the #1 driver in the team. But Lissandro Cruz we will negotiate first. He is a paid driver, I believe, yes, and his 885,000 is the offer from his sponsors. So he gets 1.25 million. Let's see if he'll take a slight pay cut to 1.187. We're going to give him equal status. We're going to give him a long contract now. He's happy with the team. Before he was only happy with a short contract. Now he's happy for a long one. It looks like we've won him over. First place target. But if you can get first place, we'll give you 120 grand. Could we get? I don't think we're going to get first place next season. I think we may get a podium or two. I'm hoping, but first place is certainly out of the question. So it's just a case of whether or not he takes the pay cut. It's a very slight pay cut, but every little helps. As we turn our attentions now to Surikov, his sponsors are giving us 801,000. He's currently being paid 1.84 million. Let's see if he will take a slight pay cut. Equal status. 983,000. Again, he wants a long contract. He wants to see out the rest of his days with Phoenix Knights. And to be fair to him, we're going to offer him that. We're going to offer him that opportunity. He gets a bigger bonus when it comes to getting first. 375 grand. Why is that so high? That is massively high. No, 150. He's got lots of patience, so we can afford to negotiate this a little bit, if need be. And we have, is it Eva? Eva Harding. Her contract running down. She's interested. She's currently on 37 grand. Try 36. She wants a long contract. All of our staff members are happy at the team. They love the team. They love working for Potter. You know? They all want long contracts. They want to tie themselves down to be part of our story, to be part of our development. They want to say that we were with Phoenix Knights right until the end. We were with them when they were coming up through, rising from the ashes, and now we're with them when we are top of the tree as a lovely phoenix blooming with feathers. Epic victory, epic! It will be epic. The time we win that championship, all these guys will no doubt be crying with tears of joy. Pit crew. God, how I've really hated you this season. It's not bad. 20. He's got front jack, rear jack, and refueling. Could we afford? It's just general fatigue has cost us towards the end of the season. Even when you swap out the drivers, all the drivers are fatigued. Is that mismanagement? Possibly. Anyway, we'll start next season. We should be okay. So let's have a look then. It's all about the car and improving it for as much as we can until the season comes to a close. We are, of course, going to do the pre-season stuff. right now. So let's have a look at our prize money. So first place got 55 million. We get 51.4. An extra 4 million for winning when compared to finishing 5th. Doesn't seem quite fair, does it? Not that we're complaining, of course. This merit system certainly is very, very helpful for the teams that are lower down the table. Technically speaking, it's supposed to keep things close. Scuderia Rossini's manager gets manager of the season, rightly so to be fair. Driver of the season is Parsani for Scuderia Rossini. You do know the other driver won the championship, right? Balcazar? Yeah, she won it with a dodgy neck. And their chairman is retiring. As is Catano's. And there are no stringing database not yet translated. Interesting. There are no rule changes this year. Esprit have been promoted, and Chariot are going down. Ozu are being promoted to the Asia Pacific Super Cup. Will Valdez be driving for them in the new championship? We'll keep an eye on that one. Ooh, let's have a look at this. It looks like Surikov is happy with his contract agreements. Very good. Welcome back, Mr. Surikov. Let's hope that next season you can just raise your game. Oh! Ooh! Holy cow! Look at that for a transfer. Scuderia Rossini have snapped up Lipponen. All season, this season, they were driving around with two, you were going to say, average drivers. They had, in fact, from what I can remember at the start of the season when we were looking at Meet the Team, they had the second worst drivers on the grid. So, the fact that they've now got one of the best drivers on the grid, that's going to mean that he is going to be the favourite for the championship next season. Best car and one of the best drivers. That doesn't bode well for the opposition. Very interesting transfer. And they've got a new lead designer. But she's rubbish. Okay. They've signed a new lead designer. They need a good one because they're slipping. They need to. They need somebody that's going to bring them back up to the top. Is he the man for it? No. There's a short answer to that one. Molly Fox has gone to Windsor Racing. Now she's a good driver from what I can remember. Yeah, look at that. She's 4.5 star. But considering that Lipponen has just left and she's coming in, it's not going to really make much of a difference to them. Because she's probably a little bit worse than Lipponen, so it's not really anything for us to fear. And they've also got a new lead designer, who's rubbish. And look at that. Surikov is a happy bunny. He loves it here, hence why he asked for a long contract. Well, as much as we get on your back, you're a consistently poor driver. Uh-oh. Out of the two, I wonder who is not happy. Ah, surprise, surprise. I actually thought it was Lissandro Cruz that was going to be the one that wants to negotiate his contract. But no, he's actually happy. He's actually happy. It's Eve Harding who's not happy. Would you credit that? What's wrong with you, my dear? Wages. She's not happy with that. Right, she's insulted. She wants a pay rise. 42? 49? 42. Come on. Oh, we can't afford her to leave, so we're gonna have to give her a pay rise. Bloody hell, she drives a hard bargain. I think it's that added responsibility of managing the pit crew. I think she's taking that into consideration now. You know, I'm managing the pit crew because you can't be bothered, so you've got to pay me an extra 10 grand a year, or 10 grand a race, sorry, to do that. And Are we going to bow down to her? I can't tell if... where's the news? Where's the calendar? Where's the news? I think she's still considering it. Yeah, she's still considering. Okay, so it's now the pre-season officially. It is officially the pre-season, and look at that. As I said before, the early signs for this season are that we have the 4th best car. The parts carried forward. We're looking good. Oh, ho, 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 with a decent chassis. We could be up for a top 3 finish this season. We could be battling with the Panthers. Let's see what happens as we develop the car. Here we go. So, how are we going to design this bad boy? Well, we're going to stick with what we usually do. Now, fuel efficiency is not an issue for us. We don't really care about fuel efficiency. But improvability is certainly something that is quite useful. And then a base stat modifier as well. So we're going to go with the Steinman engines, which is what we always do. We've always used the Steinman engines. Although, given that Scuderia Rossini are now the Constructors' Champions, perhaps we should go with a Rossini engine. Although we can see quite clearly it's not as good. When it comes to the fuel supplier, improvability is what we look for rather than fuel efficiency. Medium for 6.5, or we could go weak for 3. I think we'll go 6.5. Material supplier. We're not going to actually be building any buildings this season, I don't think. So I don't think we need to be too skimpy on the money. If we look at last season, we spent 40 million. So if we spend roughly the same, we should be okay. Tyre heating and tyre wear are both pretty important. So we're going to go for a nice balance of strong and medium here for 10 million. And then our brake supplier, again, it's tyre wear we're more interested in. So if we go 7, 45 million. So we're spending a little bit more cash this season, but I think considering that we have the parts, you know, to have a strong push, I think it's worth the extra investment. And then if we tweak this towards tyre wear, so tyre wear 4, fuel efficiency 2 and a bit, because fuel efficiency, when we have such small fuel tanks, is just not important. And then if we look for improvability, no, I think 4.5, 3-star tyre heating, 4.5-star improvability, about there. That is, I'm happy with those stats. In fact, I'm very happy with those stats. I'm just wondering if we should save some coin here. So last season we had Steinman. So it's the same engine. We had Norex for the fuel. Oh, that's where we saved the money. We had the bad fuel. Nah, this season we're going to invest in a decent chassis. We're going to invest in a decent chassis this season. And we had the brake supply. So it's exactly the same as last season. Other than the fact that we have got a slightly different fuel supplier. We're putting some more money into the fuel. Alright. Here we go. Here we go. So that is the first step. The chassis is designed. Let's move on. She's accepted the contract offer, so there you go. We have the same staff and the same drivers as last season. Continuity is the key. This is going to be very interesting this season because I think when it comes to actually selecting our bonus, I do think we can go for the higher bonus offer now. I reckon we're going to be finishing sort of round about as high as 5th position in qualifying and the race. So I'm thinking we can possibly go for 6th or above and start using this as our go-to sponsor deal, which means that we're not going to use this sponsor in the race, so we'll go instead for the upfront payment. So that gives us a little bit more coin to play with. Not much, but a little bit. It's better than nothing. And we are going to get our chairman payment as well, which will take us to about 50 million. Our test track is ready for the new season. Good to see. So the only building that I could really picture us upgrading at a push would actually be our factory, because that would enable us to increase the part improvement slots, give us extra staff, which means we would really get stuff done quickly when developing. But you can see that with the current staff and buildings that we have now, we have already been out developing our opponents, and therefore I don't think we need any other buildings other than perhaps the forecasting centre, so we can see much more into the future when it comes to the variable weather conditions. It's only 7 million, so I think we could afford it. So I'm thinking that's the only building that we will go for this season, if at all, any. But for the time being, we'll just play it by ear, because we want to see how much money we get from the chairman, and then do some calculations to ascertain how much we've got to play with. Tyre trade-off. Is it worth it? And is Chapman going to retire? I think he should. And look at that. Sirikov meditates. +2 focus. He's a strange fella, isn't he? He's a strange fella. Religion. He loves religion. He loves meditation. He's all very chilled. All very calm. He's a nice guy. He's got the trait nice guy. He's just a plain... He's just a straight up nice guy. Friendly. His teammates love him. His team members love him. All around the pit, the garage, they all like Sirikov. He's calm. He's chilled. He's obviously Sundin mentored him towards the back end of her time here, and she's obviously rubbed off on him. That Swedish calmness, that sort of ice cool demeanour that she had, it's definitely influenced him. Anyway, tyre trade-off with tyre. No, we're not interested in that. We don't want tyre heating. Tyre wear is more important. Car improvability. Our improvability is 4.5 star. I don't think we need to pay for it for any additional. Livery edit. Is there any question about what our livery is going to be? No. There it is. It doesn't change. Continuity is the key. Whew. Phoenix Knights. I'm back in the running again. Brake supplier breakthrough. Extra +1 to tyre heating. Our tyre heating could, if we pay for that, we get 4 tyre heating, 4 tyre wear. Oh, 2.5 million. I'd have paid 1.5 million. I'm thinking 2.5 million is probably too much. Nah. Nah, so that's an extra engine. That's an extra engine, that, you know. We're going to be developing our engine like there's no tomorrow this season. We really need to focus on getting our engine to be as the best it can possibly be. And that's going to be expensive, because engine is the most expensive part to build. So we're going to be building 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 engines, at least, possibly 6. So that's going to be where most of our money goes this season. So we need to be a little bit savvy. Pre-season testing is soon to be upon us. Here it is. How are we going to fare? Let's take a look. Look at Sirikov. Sticks it in second. Struggling with understeer. We can iron that out, not a problem. Of course, these times mean absolutely nothing, considering that Risato Corsa are down as fastest. It's all about making sure that the car is working fine. And for Sirikov, it certainly was working fine. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Targets. Oh. We get an extra 8 million if we say third. We can't risk it. We can't. But 5th is definitely doable. That's where we finished last season. I'm expecting to finish 4th at the very least. 3rd, I think, is possibly up for grabs, but it's not a certainty. It would have been foolish to take that offer. Okay, so 64 million. It's estimated to lose 2.3 per race. So 16 races. So that's 32 million before we've even started. And we're probably going to spend about 20 million on developing parts, so it's going to be quite tight with the money. We might be able to build one building at a push. Right, I think we've just wasted a couple of days of our time because the pre-season is actually done and dusted. So let's take a look, shall we, at the car. Here it is, and it is as we left it last season. So, where does it fare in the pecking order? Well, as I told you in the last session, 4th on the grid. We're better than Catano. We're better than Windsor. And if you look at our drivers, we have the 2nd best drivers on the grid. So with the 2nd best drivers on the grid and a better car than Catano, we should be beating them this season. The question is, will we be beating Panther? It's going to be a tight one. So join me for the next session, which is where we will start to slightly tweak the way that this LP runs, at least for the next season, maybe the next 2. We're going to do the highlights package. We're going to have 4 races in one session. I will edit a highlights package together of 4 races in 4 race chunks. I'll give you all the news updates. I'll keep you updated with the car's progress, and we'll have a highlights of the qualifying and the races. And just to keep the pacing up now, because I think we're going to be not going to be challenging for the title just yet. And then I think maybe next season we'll go back to normal again. And also what I might do is I'll assess how close it is between Catano, us and Panther, because if it's going to be quite an exciting battle for 3rd place, I think you might want to watch that. So just let me know. But at least for the first half of this season, we'll try the highlights package and see how that goes for something different. So yes, I got a feeling it's going to be a good season. So join me next time to see how it goes in Doha. Till then, see you soon.